All right. I'm going to just do a little intro and then we can just talk away. Um, yeah, whatever anybody likes is just a open conversation. So however it goes. So all this wants to express really is that all there is what is. All there is just this immediacy. It's just this. There's nothing happening. It just seems to be happening. There seems to be there's an appearance, something apparently happening, but there can't be anything happening really because there's no time. Time is just a complete illusion. There isn't any time. There's just what is. It's just this. It's just utterly, obviously what is. It couldn't be any simpler. Not if you tried, especially if you didn't try. There's just what is. It's just utterly, ridiculously simple and can't be understood at all. What we're talking about just can't be understood. It can never be understood. This doesn't understand anything. This is just um, expressing. It's not really very important. This it has absolutely no importance. There's no importance. There's no relevance of what this is expressing, what this is communicating. There's just what is immediacy for no one. There's just an expression that comes out for no one. And these meetings seem to occur. There seems to be a drawing together somehow to express absolutely nothing. And nobody can understand that. It just seems to go on because there's a sort of openness here, which is quite different from most other sort of situations in life, where there is an absolute clarity that I really am very important and I am the center of my world. With this expression here doesn't see anybody. There isn't anybody. This isn't for anybody because there isn't anybody. There isn't any individual people that are going around, with their apparent lives. All of that is just illusion. All there is just what's happening, what seems to be happening. It's gloriously simple. So we can talk about that. We can talk around that, should I say. There's never really going to be anything that is gotten out of these kind of meetings, but just the openness of expressing this seems to be uh, for whatever energy is there, can be relaxing or can be extremely frustrating. There's nothing that can be done. This isn't giving any answers at all to any kind of ideas that me has. This is just expressing all there is what is. All there is this. So you can you know we you can ask questions if they come. And if there are comments or whatever, it's open.
I did.
Hi, Ollie. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Like that simplicity that you talk about,
Hmm.
like when there's the sense of a person or an individual feeling separate, it seems very, very complicated.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it seems complicated, hard to reach, distant.
Well, it's complicated because it's absolutely impossible to find what is
Mm,
wanted, what is longed for. Me longs for is just it's impossible for it for me to find what it longs for. So, the route that it kind of contrives to try to get something is always going to be quite a feat of complexity, you know.
like, anyway, it can't be understood or seen from a separate. So in a way, it's more actually frustrating rather than it's unbelievably
Yeah,
frustrating to that which is trying to get there to know it. And
yeah.
then when there isn't an individual there, it's absolutely so simple then. It's like all the complicatedness has gone out of it. It's not complicated anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. There's nothing. In fact, the whole idea of getting somewhere just falls apart. There's no investigation anymore. This is the end of investigation.
Yeah. It's very, very simple then.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is the end of seeking, the end of investigation, the end of trying. That's the thing. It's quite heavy, me, you know. The apparent me is very sort of heavy and got a lot of, got a lot of will to try and get somewhere, apparently. Of course it does, it never will.
Somehow it seems, I don't know, here it just seems obvious in a way how that's when something feels separate, how that heaviness in a way, like when there's no sense of separation, like everything's so new, so just immediately new, alive. Like somehow it makes sense how it would be so constricting and depressing on the whole system because it's constantly sort of locking in, it's constantly something energetically is keeping this sense of separation going. It's like this veil of separation. Something energetically has to kind of hold that in place all the time, it seems.
Well, yeah, it seems like that. I mean, it's just a mechanism. It's just an energetic, it's a quality of contraction, you might call it, apparent contraction. And none of this is real, we're just kind of talking about a story really about something. Essentially it's just essentially the nature of what we're describing is a quality of contraction. And that seems to go on, but it's not an absolute thing. It comes in and out all the time.
Mm.
That body doesn't function, that body's constantly functioning, without me. That body just is going towards pleasure and away from pain. It just does what it does. And me is in a sort of resistance to that. I mean, it's nobody's done that, and there's no fault around that at all. I mean, nobody created me, it's just what seems to go on with human beings. And then it doesn't.
And then when that sense of separation isn't there, there's nothing then energetically looking for something else. There's not
No.
attention. It's like an attention on something. That's how I feel. It's almost like it's part of it. It's an attention being energetically put somewhere else into some
Yeah, it's
energetically
over there.
looking.
It's
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
always over there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's somewhere, you know. It's even over here. I mean, whichever way you want to go. But it's always somewhere. It's always, something to look for, something to try to find. But yeah, there's nothing to find. There's nothing happening.
Yeah, and when there's nothing looking anymore, it's just immediately this. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's no separate. It's just this. Then immediately, what's happening?
Yeah. In a very soft, relaxed way, because there's nothing. This is a softening in a way, you could say. I mean, I'm using words which are meaningless, but this is a kind of softening. So this is very soft. This is very undramatic and absolutely normal.
Like this, then is also just when there's no sense of separation. This is also just what seems to be happening.
Yes, that's just what seems to be
Yeah,
happening. Yeah.
yeah.
And me is what seems to be happening, apparently, in certain bodies. There seems to be a me going on there. There's a certain quality of contraction, you might call it. And then in other bodies, it doesn't. So what, in a way? It's just, or it's all there is energy.
And then if there's no sense of separation, it's not an actual. It's not a happening. Then it's seen. Then it's an appearance.
Yeah, so I mean, the word appearance really is just it's just what is. I mean, it
Mm.
can't be described what appearance is. In a way, it's just unknowable. But there's nothing trying to know it. That's why it's unknowable. It's just there's nothing trying to find anything. So it's just you can call it an appearance, but ultimately it's just nothing. There's nothing happening. There's no movement. There's just what is. There can be the appearance of movement, the apparent movement, but It's not real. It's just this is just what is.
I'll just ask you anyway, in the way when it's described as an appearance, it seems because it's not happening in a linear time, it's an actual it's directly appearing as itself. It's immediately being what it is. It's not becoming.
Well, there isn't an it, but yes,
Yeah, but
I
whatever's
know what you're
happening is
saying.
immediately
Yeah,
being itself. It's not becoming somehow. It's time. It's a timeless appearance
yeah,
in a way. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yes. Timeless appearance. Yeah, yeah. These are all, attempts to describe. Of course, they're descriptive, which is all there. What all one can do with language. But of course, it will never do. Language will never do. We will never get to a very clear way of describing this. It's just best that I can do is immediacy, newness.
Yeah, it's as near as you can get, I suppose.
Mm.
Probably seems obvious in a way when people are talking directly and clearly about what we talk about. Really, when it gets down to the bones of what we talk about, the language is generally the same when it's very directly, and
Yeah,
because there's
yeah.
no other way of describing it.
No, no, it's not. No, no, there's not, and in a way you kind of fiddle about with various different words and ultimately Tony's, plucked all of the good ones. So
Mm,
you just,
mm,
so there's, I'm very often it will end up being something that it naturally goes that way because there's nothing, there's no way of describing it any better you know, um,
mm.
because you can't. So,
I want to add something if I'm not interjecting and interrupting anybody.
could I just take one? There's somebody else that's raised their hand. I'll do that and then I'll come
Okay.
back to you. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Lauren.
Hi, David.
Hi, Lauren. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Um, so listening to you talk about this, I was thinking about a silent movie, um, where the absence of sound is like the absence of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sort of have the feel of what you're trying to talk about?
I mean, it's a nice description. Yeah, it's what I mean. It's a good, nice description from what's going on there. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Because
Yeah.
whenever I see a silent movie, it's almost like the the realness is gone without the sound. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I see.
Anyway,
Hmm.
yeah, and the moments that I've had a glimpse or whatever, it seemed like there was no direction, there was no linear
Yeah,
chronological.
sure.
Yeah, it was just like movement,
Yeah,
timeless. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just what is. There's just what is. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's in a certain sense, that's what I mean by very simple.
Hmm. There's such a desire to unite with that, you know.
Well, instead of uniting with it, the thing that's looking for it just dies. So you'll never
And
unite with it. You'll never unite with it. Can't do that. It's already everything anyway. So, there's no I mean, it's more than united, should I say.
yeah.
Never left.
The thing that's looking for it evaporates, and then all there is it.
Right.
It seems. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's nothing
Well,
looking
there's
for
no
anymore. Sorry, Lauren.
No, it's okay. Like I enjoy your comments. I'm just wondering, like, why is it that people who come to these meetings, some of them end up having that seeking evaporate and others don't?
There is no reason for that. There's no, because what there is, there's is an attempt to try to find cause and effect. Sorry, somebody's. Um,
Mhm. That's my baby. I'm sorry.
okay, so okay, it's you. Okay, fine, that's fine. Okay, go.
I'll finish
No,
soon.
no,
I'm sure
that's
it's
okay.
not
No, as long as it's from yours, I didn't know where it was from. So yeah, okay. Yes. So there's always a sort of attempt to sort of find cause and effect. You know, the in a way, what me tries to do is to kind of go, oh well, there must have been something before that caused the me to fall away. So I just need to do that, and then me will fall away. But it's the end of cause and effect. It's the end of time. So there's no more happenings. There's no more attempts to try to understand, you know, how that apparently happens. It can't be known. It's the end of that seeking. It's the end of seeking a method to figure it out. There's no way of knowing. It seems to be that certain bodies, uh, you know, where there seems to be a falling away of this kind of contraction within certain bodies, but there's nobody doing any of that. There's nobody that's done anything, you know, to get to for that to occur, right? But there's an apparent, you know, falling apart, apparent burnout, apparent dissolving. Nobody does it.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Joe, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is wonderful. Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, the I guess to go off of in response to the lady talking about her experience with kind of media and being in a that kind of mindset of seeking abiding awakening, or at least knowing about it, you know. And yeah, I mean, I guess in that way that another thing that kind of was in my mind from listening to the earlier words in here was, yes, obviously we can talk about, grasping it, getting it, and all these different things. And something that came up for me was acceptance, accepting, uh,
Yeah,
in the kind of
there's
way.
no
And what's that?
acceptance. Yeah, there's no possibility of it of acceptance because it would need somebody to accept something. So there's the acceptance is another kind of a kind of thing that goes on in many different circles associated with you know, sort of spirituality, which is about getting somewhere. It's being on a path, getting somewhere, and what you need to do is to accept or to surrender, for example. So surrender, accept, all of these kind of things. But that is just simply another step on an apparent path. There is no
Hmm.
path. There's just what is. This isn't something that you can do. So acceptance or surrendering is something that me seems to think that it can do. But of course, it can't do anything.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was gonna say in that kind of way that I would be careful with that in the sense of self-hate, though, right? In sense of my me has to go away, you know, that what I
Well, no,
am,
I mean, but
right?
I mean, me will try to do me will try to think of anything that it possibly can, you know, so you know, that you can go towards that. The me will try to surrender, or it will, and it try to accept, or it will try to, not accept and not surrender because it thinks that that's not the right thing to do uh, in order to get somewhere. So it will become extremely complex in its attempt to do anything. Or it's always trying to do something to get somewhere.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I understand in the sense of uh yeah, I mean I guess that we're better off in the sense of if we accept, then you're actually enabling yourself for that peace and that moving on the path towards enlightenment
Well, there
rather
is no
than
that ultimate. This is, I think, this
very,
is the
very much is. Yeah,
misconception. I mean, is that there is no path and there is
very
no
much.
enlightenment. So
Yeah,
the
no, there has to be,
all of
there
the
has to be a
sort of,
path to enlightenment.
I mean,
Yeah,
all
that's
of the sort of energy around that is really part of the illusion. It's part of me trying to get somewhere.
uh, I mean, I guess in that way, I think of like like when a baby's born, and you have a mom and a dad and that love, that's present, in that way. I mean, I think of that as real, as being accepted and understood,
Yeah,
and
that there's nothing that's just what seems to happen. There's nothing, this is, yeah, I mean, energy can seem to happen in these ways, but what's your point about that?
well, I mean, I'm just saying in context of where we're placing our mind today, right? And
There's
because
nobody that's
mentioning,
placing any kind of mind at all. There is just what's happening. There is nobody that's doing any of this. There isn't anybody
yeah,
there that's asking those questions either. There's none of that. This is ultimately this is that there's it's interesting that what is interesting in a way is that you come to there's something there that actually comes to these kind of meetings that's interested in this. I'm very interested in that.
right,
There's something else
reality.
that
Yeah,
there's
there
something
is
that's
that.
drawn here.
Exactly.
There's something
Exactly.
that's drawn into that, which has got
Yeah.
absolutely nothing to do with anything that you're talking about as far as the questions are concerned, because the questions are the
Right.
questions
Right.
are, in a way, not what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Oh, did my video? Oops. Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely in that sense of, and that's really the whole thing, right? What is that reality? What is that immediacy? Like you use that word. I think that's appropriate, sir. Of course. Yeah. 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 Something that is, I mean, I believe in God. I have a chapter in my book called The Pull Towards God, in the sense that there's something that even people who don't ever try to voice it, or speak it will still be bound to it, in that kind of way.
Well, I mean,
Um,
there's
yeah.
lots of ways of there's lots of expressions, but as far as what this is concerned, there is no possibility of there being a God that is separate, and it's there's no these kind of ideologies are all part and parcel of me trying to find something, trying to trying to make sense of an apparent world that seems to be very separate and seems to be it seems to be a dualism. There seems to be a dualism, and that's what that whole expression is about. God, all of that is the same thing.
Yeah. 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 I guess, and I guess I won't interrupt if someone else has something to say, but I mean, yeah, being a spiritual teacher myself, I have it's my kind of my purpose. But yeah, I mean, in the sense of a,
So I mean, sorry, just to say that
yeah,
this is of course nothing to do with a spiritual teaching whatsoever, and in a certain way, this completely exposes all spiritual teachings as being utter nonsense. So the nature of spiritual teaching is just absolutely impossible because there is no such thing as spirituality in what it is that we're discussing here. This is just what is. This is not a spiritual message at all. There's no spirituality involved in this because spirituality is born of dualism. But but it's wonderful that you come and talk. It's very nice to hear what you have to
Thank
say.
you.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's wonderful, and thank you for facilitating this. And I mean,
Sure.
in that way, I'll say one thing real quick before I end, and maybe come back later and say more. But I guess in that way that, um, yeah, I mean, something that's on my heart just right now is kind of, and I don't want to throw out too many spiritual words, but I mean, the general prayer or kind of intention is the yeah, the ability, the humility, right? The quality of humility that when whether it touches us real soft or like a ton of bricks, that we're able to eventually respond in earnest to that, whatever that is. That
Well,
we're kind of
I think that there's a very strong belief that that's what's going on, but that's okay. That's okay. No problem.
Hello.
But thank you. Let's just move. If thanks, Joe. I'm going to move on to Sheer, if that's all right. Thank you.
I'm,
Hi. How you doing?
good. Good to see you
You
again.
too. You too.
And thank you for last time. It was amazing.
No problem.
Thanks. I think it's just mentally I just would like to ask you, the time and concept and this two is the same thing, isn't it?
Time and concept.
Yes, they are
Yeah,
time concept. They are the. Uh, I mean,
time and story are the
it's
same.
yes
Time and story. Yeah.
because concept is also it's knowing. It's knowing, and if there is no knowing, so there will be no time either.
Sure, yeah. You could say time is time is knowing if you want. Yes, sure.
Yes,
Or
because
the seeking for knowledge if you want. Yeah, I mean it's all the same. It's just it's still part and parcel of the nature of seeking. It's the complete avoidance of what is, which is this immediacy.
yes, but then the fact is, it's me is just that it's have to be just concept. I mean,
Yes, well, it's a story. Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, me is a story. That's all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you remove the concept, what will be? I just imagine. I just think.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's that there's a fantasy there about what
Yeah,
should be when there is
no concept.
no concept. Yes,
Yeah,
but ultimately, it's the end of the fantasy of trying to think what life will be without concept.
yeah. That's right. That's right. That's no one know about this.
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah,
me will never know this.
yeah,
To
yeah. Exactly,
uh,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shia.
Thank
And
you.
then I think Anna has written something here. Uh, Anna, yeah. I Anna is. I think that you're on mute at the moment.
Hi.
Hi, Anna.
Well, thank you for this meeting. It's my first time today.
Hi.
Hi. So I had this experience and it happened a few times where I felt like I was on the outside as well. Like I was just only like sucked in by the outside.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like just like every just yeah. And so my question is, where am I?
There is no one. There is no one. So there's no location. There's no location, but more importantly, in the end, there's no one looking for location. There's no one trying to find it. This is the end of seeking.
So, is there a realization at some point where I will always be in that,
There's not a
where,
realization.
like how,
Yeah, there's not a realization for anyone. But what can seem to go on is that there can just be a falling away of that which is trying to investigate this. It is the end of investigation. There's just a relaxation of that. There's just the whole concern about how how this might be in one way or the other, or where the location is. All of that, it just falls apart.
so I guess the one who is awakened, do they walk around feeling like that all the time, or that's just,
Well,
again, seeking?
there's no seeking it. There's just the end of seeking, and there's no one that is awakened. There's no one that's
Okay.
awakened. It's just the end of seeking. That's the best way I can
Okay.
describe that. All that is being expressed here is simply the end of seeking. This is the end of seeking.
Well,
That's it.
I'm definitely tired. I'm very
Oh
tired.
yeah,
I
for
very
sure.
tired,
Yeah,
exhausted,
you bet. Yeah,
tired of the effort. I'm physically struggling right now with this diagnosis of vestibular migraines, which is sometimes debilitating.
yeah,
Um,
totally.
and then like the other night, I don't know if it was the NyQuil I took to help me sleep, but I woke up and I couldn't feel me. Like I couldn't, like I was there, but there was nothing. There was,
Mm,
there
interesting.
was nothing. There was like, I wasn't dead, but there was nothing.
Hmm.
And then I freaked out a bit. I was like, wait, why can I feel my arms? Why can I feel, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
I mean,
it.
I
I
can't,
just
I
wanted
can't,
to
I,
share.
I,
I know it's scary. I'm
yeah,
not sure. Like I said, maybe it was the medicine, but yeah.
whatever it is, it's what seems to be going on. It seems to be happening, or what that apparent experience was. But all I can tell you is that this is
Okay.
utterly normal. This is not some extremely dramatic, thing. It is just
Okay.
utterly normal. It's just there is no more seeking. There's no more attempting to find anything. It's just and somehow there is something wonderful, absolutely incredible about just that simplicity of there just being what is. It's just that's the wonder, if you like, of it.
Yes, when I watched your videos, a few of your videos, I was, relief because I'm always like trying to be better, trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get traumas out of the body,
Oh
and then
yeah,
it's
this
not
I was this
working.
was a maniac for
Oh,
that. I can tell you,
yes,
I it
and
was
I was just like,
yeah,
no, like a God, like I cried, like I'm tired of trying. I'm so tired. Hi. Yes,
like
thank you.
yeah,
Got
great.
his pickup line. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say, and I
Yeah,
was like
thank you.
very relieved, because like even like before, I would say, okay, like I can rest, like I can. Oh, but it's like still like a proving of like, but
Yeah,
you're not awakened, but you're not, and it's
yeah.
just like it just turned out to be a little very much stressful, and then
Oh
like an
yeah,
obsession too.
yeah.
Like I was like obsessed
Yeah, well,
with the whole thing.
the spiritual path, quite similarly to the path to financial glory, is extremely stressful.
Yes.
Because it's exactly the same. It's all about getting somewhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know,
Thank you.
the only difference is the path to financial glory actually gives you money. You know, whereas,
So let's go for that.
well, I mean, if there's an option, but the
Yeah.
point is that it's not the point is that it's not there's nothing to find. There's nothing to find. This is not something that anyone can do. You can't do this. You can't get this because it's actually the end of you. It's the end of that which tries to seek something. It's the complete draining out of all of that energy that is attempting to find something. It is a falling away of that. It is the complete end of that. So there's nothing to do. That's the wonderful thing. There's nothing for you to do.
Yeah.
You can go into retirement. Well, I mean, you can't, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. It's a pleasure. Yeah, thank you so much. Lindsay, I think you're on mute at the moment, Lindsay.
Okay.
Hi, great.
Is that working? Oh,
Yeah,
great.
that's great. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hi. I'm also a first time on your call. A friend of mine shared a video of yours, and I found myself here with
Lovely.
the other participants. So,
Mhm.
hello. I don't know if there are any other Americans on the phone, but
There are. There was
oh,
a couple of
okay.
them. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
might understand this analogy then. Is it kind of like the simplicity? And it does it seem like the previous person reacts sort of in an anxious way to this, whereas to me, for the last, or to me, I'm using words that are meaningless, right?
No,
So
it's okay. However it
just
comes.
to communicate, right?
Yeah.
Um, is it kind of like Baskin Robbins, the 31 flavors of ice cream, ends up being no flavors at all, just pure simplicity. There is a flavor that ends up being the immediacy of what occurs, and it's based on preferences only. And so therefore I'm going to end up with, there's going to be something more vanilla based than chocolate based. It's just one of those things that that
I
just
mean,
occurs. Is it kind of like that where
that's
there's
I
no
mean,
seeking?
it's I mean, that's quite an interesting way of describing it. I mean, I have never heard of non-duality being described by ice cream flavors, but
Leave
actually,
it up
I
to
have
an
a friend
American to
here
come
who's
up with
very good
that,
at
right?
that kind of thing, so she
Yeah.
will also acknowledge that. But yeah, I mean, basically, in a certain sense, this is what it there's that is all everything that you've described is an attempt for me to try to understand. It's an attempt for me to try to get this, to have some sort of analogy which is going to be about getting a little bit closer to what it means, or whatever it is. There's no possibility of any of that. You're never
Yeah.
going to be able to understand it. That you can go through all the 31 flavors and you will never understand it. But you might just say that essentially all there is unconditional neutrality. So there's a flavorlessness in it. You could describe perhaps, you know, that there everything is just what is. It's that the flavor of immediacy, you know. But it, not that it would have a flavor, but yeah, you know, maybe you could describe it like that. But it doesn't matter about trying to get an analogy, because an analogy is not going to get you anywhere close to what this is, because it's already everything.
And when you say it's already everything, is it everything because it's also nothing and
Yes.
everything?
Yes, it's
Okay.
nothing and everything. It's neverthing. It's not it's
It's
or the
not.
other way of saying it is neither nothing nor is it everything.
Mhm.
It's undescribable. It's impossible. It's well, it's impossible to describe.
Well, there's been, thank you for that. And I'm sorry I talked over you at the beginning.
No, not.
Did you say that there's a girlfriend who's also an ice cream lover? I don't know what you were
There's
saying at the beginning.
there's a friend that
Oh,
I have who's also an ice cream fan.
okay.
So
Okay.
she will probably enjoy that.
Okay.
Hearing. Yeah.
Well, so in the last couple of years, there's been a huge surrender of not going on. This is really my first time I've been on anything for years, probably 5, 6. Well, no, maybe 2 years, and no reading about it, no pursuing, just letting things happen. But there is still sort of like a feeling of a need to investigate. For instance, like I will lay in bed or just notice, whenever sitting that or driving the car, that where was everything from yesterday? It's all gone. What the whole storylines, the thoughts, it's poof, it's vaporized, it's all gone. It can't be grasped. And really, even the word thought, a thought, you need a seer in order to describe a thought, which is the scene. So it's like there's so many ways in which to investigate that there is no you or me.
Yeah,
It,
which of course is me investigating.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that's the problem. And you were, one of the ways you kind of mentioned earlier is your body functions, it's inherent. It's all, it comes with, it's all sort of all autonomous, where it just happens automatically without a
Yeah.
you in control.
Yeah.
And another way to see that would be that there is no seer, because you would have to identify a thought
Well,
as
yeah,
at a thought.
this is the end of seeking. This is the end of the seeker. It's the end of the one that's trying to analyze it and understand it, and you know, that has got any energy for any of that. That just completely falls away.
Would you say that David 10 years ago, 15 years ago was a seeker?
Oh, yeah, yeah, longer than that. I mean, bloody hell, you know. Yeah, no, that this has been this has apparently in the story this was seeking for an exorbitantly long time. Yeah,
And
yeah.
and the just the giving up. Um, I mean, I feel kind of like there has been a huge giving up,
Well,
although there are
but
those
I mean,
times.
that's you know, I think that this is the thing, is that there's always that idea that, you know, haven't I given up enough, for God's sake? Yeah,
Right, for
right.
God's sake.
Yeah, come on, you know, it's like, you know, and I do understand that. You know, I thought I'd given up enough, and then there was this kind of real sense that this would never get it. I just would never get. I'd kind of you know, in a certain sense, resigned myself to kind of feeling, well, there are obviously some people in this world that, you know, it falls away, and this obviously this thing is too, you know, is too hard a nut to crack. So, you know, that's
It's
my fate. You know, I said in a miserable kind of way,
so it's like
and
you
that
hadn't
was
reached. but I
Yeah.
haven't reached bottom yet. There's still more to
Well,
this
no, I
well.
hadn't. I would know. I felt like that for a very long time.
Ah,
But it makes absolutely no difference. This has got nothing to do with you.
right.
This can apparently fall away for absolutely anybody at any time, whatever they're doing, whatever they imagine that they think that they're doing, whatever path they think that they're on, this can just completely fall apart.
So if in you, let's just take you as an example. Um, do you still feel that you get at all excited or nervous, or are you into any case scenario of what's happening? For instance, let's say someone is trying to swindle your mother out of all of her savings or something like that. Do you still, or you just like none of it's real?
Well, I mean, this is a kind of hypothetical, which is,
Yes.
kind of going
Not
into
not not
a
not
big
in my not
story.
in my case, it's hypothetical, but let's just
Okay,
say
okay.
it's yours. Yeah.
But I mean, there would be a response. I can't tell which response it would be.
Yeah.
You know, there would be probably a response to that.
Right.
I
Okay.
can't
So
tell you what the response would be, you know.
right.
Hopefully it wouldn't be to help the swindler and it would be to help my mother, but you never know, you know. There's
And
no
yet,
there's no rules to this, you know. There's no rules in this kind of situation. There's no rules. You don't know what's going to what can be, which is
but
why
since
hypotheticals are a bit difficult.
so if there is no me, then I really can't tell what I would respond either, what the response is going to
No,
be.
no, you
It's just
can't.
based on maybe a little research, a little calling an attorney, things like that. It would
That
just be
seems
what
to go on
happens.
there. That's what seems to happen.
Okay. All
That's
right. Well,
yeah.
I'll tune into future conversations. Thank you so much. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too, Lindsay. Yeah, thanks for your questions. Yeah, thank you. Hi, Joe. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. This is so lovely. Something that came to mind, and I'm not sure if this is the answer for that lady who just spoke. Sorry, I missed your name, ma'am. But something that came to mind for me is kind of like um attention is a strong word, particularly in uh whatever words are used to describe these kind of groups. Attention in that way as just a standalone, right? So kind of like how my hand is kind of just its own single hand, in that kind of way. And there's
I
so
mean,
many facets.
attention is a kind of form of awareness. You know, it's an ideology associated with awareness. And awareness is the accomplice of dualism. It is the nature of dualism. Because in order for something to be aware of something else, there has to be one and two. There has to be a subject and an object. Something is aware of something else. So, unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, the nature of what is it doesn't require awareness. There doesn't need anybody to be aware of anything. There's no requirement for there to be awareness. There's just what
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. Just so, I mean, in that way, yeah, that you're resounding or resonating with just I am, like isness, right?
Well, I mean, completely the opposite of that, in fact, so that there is no I.
Okay.
There's no
Yeah.
I. There is just what is. There's no the I isn't part of this conversation at all. There's just nothing apparently happening.
Yeah. 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 Um,
So
there's
thank
yeah, I guess to say just a little bit, there's this title I have of one of my books. It's called The Nothingness of Love, a Buddhist book of poetry. And I just feel that it's something that is
It's,
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
what I'm
it's
saying.
I think that if there was something kind of completely perfectly I don't have the words for it. If there's something that's utterly perfectly the not what we're talking about, it would have the exact title to your book. That would be it. That would be exactly it. It's got all of the elements which have got nothing to do with what we're talking about. But thank you so much for
Yeah,
mentioning it.
yeah.
Lauren, sorry, can I just move on to Lauren? Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, the difference between the body and the me, is it possible that the body, I don't know, like I feel that I am looking for ways to get rid of the me, but and that's, is that
Well,
my body
that's
or is
what
that
me.
me?
Yeah, me
Okay.
does that. Me. That's the seeking. That's me. Me. As I've said before, me is a mechanism. It's a fever. It's a one trick pony of contraction. It just does that. That's all it does. It just contracts. It just holds on to stuff. It just it just takes whatever there is and tries to get hold of it.
Yeah.
And so, this is trying to find the end of me. It has a fantasy about what the end of me is, and then it tries to find it. All that whole thing, everything that we're talking about, all of that whole expression that is just mentioned there, is part and parcel of the same thing. It's just contraction. It's just me energy. It's just the quality of that. And what seems to go on is that can completely fall apart.
Because I guess what I'm saying is, the there's spiritual seeking in meditation, or negation of whatever, like the self-inquiry. I don't know much
Yeah,
about all that, but
yeah, yeah,
I'm like more into, or my arrival here at this meeting has been an apparent story of yoga and energy
yeah,
practices, and it's sort of like an intuitive physical um, exercise, including like ultra marathon running and different ways
hmm
to try to exhaust the loop
yeah,
of craving,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
and it's not like, yeah, I don't know,
Well, no,
it's
but
not
that's a good.
extreme. Yeah,
Many people do that. A lot of people you imagine that me is a kind of toxin that you have to kind of rid the body of. So it
yes,
becomes
yes.
it comes part and parcel of a kind of cleansing process that goes on and on and on and on of trying to get rid of. You have people on cleansing, ritualistic cleansing processes, which just they're just always cleansing because because me's always involved. Me's always trying to get somewhere, so it's always attempting to cleanse everything. but
Yes.
but all of that whole process that seems to be going on is just me trying to get somewhere, and in the end this just completely falls apart, and you end up drinking gin
Yeah.
very happily.
Mm.
Yeah. So I mean,
Hilarious.
Or
what I
even
mean is that it's not. There's no parameters. There's nothing. That's a very. It's also a sort of very ascetic aspect. It's very ascetic sort of direction to go on. I've got to cleanse myself of, purify or something like that.
Deny, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
There's
And
nothing to
so,
purify.
yeah, yeah,
Or crush it through
interesting.
exhaustion.
Yeah,
Yeah, I tried that.
absolutely. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is the thing. We can talk about, the dissolution of the me state, or the burnout of the me state, and then me will immediately respond to that and say, okay, right, I need to burn myself out then, and then it will go on a track of trying to do that. It will always try to find something. It will always latch on to whatever is said, even if nothing is said, and it will turn it into a path that it has to go down in order to get somewhere. And that's absolutely normal. That's just what me does. Me just simply does that until that completely falls apart. There's nothing to do. Thanks, Lauren. Yeah.
Good evening, David.
Hi, good evening.
Would you say that once this immediacy is noticed, the I you always thought you were equates with this immediacy?
Well, there's been a disruption, hasn't there? If there's a glimpse, there's been a disruption in the apparent continuum of me. Of course, there isn't really a continuum of me, because every night that you go to sleep, me will completely falls away, and also, in the day there will be many moments where that sort of just falls away without that body apparently, noticing anything. So, but yeah, I mean, does that answer what you were saying? Sorry.
Well, if I would have to formulate it in my own words, the I, or the me you used to know, refers to something different, namely this immediacy.
It's disrupted. It's disrupted. So when that seems to come back, if it does, that can seem to be a contraction. So it seems to come back in. That there's a recognition that something isn't quite right. That it's not really. It's me has been seen through. So there is something that recognizes that there is something else. There's something else going on, that isn't just the story of me.
Yeah, maybe I should formulate it differently. The core of what makes you remains, right?
Well, the preferences, the nature of the preferences, or you could just say the DNA, the instincts of that body are absolutely the same. There's no change in any of that.
Right,
The
but
preferences that that body has will be exactly the same. Yeah, sure.
that would not be the essence in my book. That would not be the essence. The essence remains the same.
What I don't know what you mean by essence in that
This
case.
immediacy, this.
Well, I mean, all there is immediacy. Immediacy is both the preferences and everything else in between. So all there is immediacy.
Since if ever there were a you, it's this immediacy as well.
Well, and also the me state is this immediacy as well.
Right. Yeah.
There's no escape from this immediacy. All there is immediacy. There's just this.
Right. It's hard to explain because it's experiential in a way. So
well, it's not hard to explain. It's absolutely impossible to explain. This can't be explained. It's utterly impossible. It's just these words are never going to going to describe it. And actually, there's absolutely nothing here that wants to describe it. There's nothing here that has any interest in describing this, because it can't. It's just what it is. It's just this. This is it.
Yeah.
It's empty of anything to describe.
Yeah. I used to think that something would change, but in fact it doesn't. That's okay. Maybe I'll find words another time, but everything changes and nothing changes, of course. So I would say.
Well, yeah, I mean, it can be maybe
noticed
expressed in that way, yeah.
Yeah. But you do consider the possibility that this immediacy can be noticed, but can also be.
Well, it's not really noticed actually. What I would say is that there is nothing bothering to notice anything anymore.
Right.
This is a complete failure of noticing. This is a total failure of being, you know, avidly trying to notice something. This is a complete uh, kind of you know, that sort of hypervigilance of me trying to notice everything actually just kind of becomes, you know, utterly, you know, relaxed and falls apart. It's just it sees that idea of noticing as completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
All there is attraction towards pleasurable sensation and away from pain. That's all the body does. That's all the body ever does. Is just does that.
And it can apparently seem to put itself together again after a glimpse, right?
Well, I mean, a glimpse is not, you know, in a certain sense, uh, uh, I mean, the glimpse is a point where that body, that the energy of that body is able to flow through in a much more efficient way. The me state is that which blocks the function of that body. So it's far from that it puts itself to get together again. It is constantly a lot that body is constantly doing that all the time. It's constantly being what it is.
Yeah, yeah, putting itself together, of course, as a means of speaking. But okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Luke.
Hello, David.
Hi, Luke. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Is this meeting like it's like a talking meditation?
Oh, definitely not. No, no. This is no. There's no meditation here. This is a meditation-free zone, in fact.
What's wrong with meditation?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing right with it either. That's the thing. If the only reason to do meditation is because you find it pleasurable. That's really the only reason that I can think of to do, you know, meditation. If you like it, great. But I mean, that body has got no interest in trying to get somewhere. So, you know, meditation as a means to try to get this is utterly ridiculous.
Because I often wonder, like, why don't you run like a 1 hour or 90-minute silent meditation?
Well, that's exactly why I don't. Because of exactly what I just said. I mean, yeah, there's no, that what could be found by meditation? This is already it.
I feel like because this can't be described in words.
That you think that the absence of words would describe it better? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's no words. The me will fantasize about what that means. Oh, there's no words. What does that mean? Okay, it means such and such. You know, that's what goes on. Me just tries to, you know, and that's the wonderful thing is that there's nothing to do about that or about anything else. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, so this meeting is just sort of a just breaking down the illusion. Just breaking down the illusion.
Yeah, I mean, it's got no real intention at all. It's just seems to go on. These meetings seem to go on. I like to call them an elephant's graveyard.
Which
Well,
means,
it's just I mean, you don't know whether you know have seen you know elephants. They all when they die, they always go to this particular place, and it's completely instinctive. It's
ah,
not it's nothing that they have thought of or anything like that. It's just they just go. That's what this is.
right.
This is an openness to there being a complete falling away of me. There's nothing that's doing any of that. It's just instinctive. This is an instinctive gathering. How's that? Apparent gathering, of course.
Yeah, because this, um, it seems like this is beyond, it seems like this is beyond, you know, traditional spiritual teaching.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is absolutely nothing to do with traditional spirit. This is
Yeah.
actually binning traditional teaching. It's literally the yes, it's kind of the end of all of that. Yeah. Because this isn't a spiritual message. Just this is just in a way a statement which is just simply that all there is immediacy. There's just this.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's all, folks.
So how many did you end up counting the number of Tony meetings that you ended up going to
No,
before?
I did. It was too numerous to count.
Like 10 years worth or something, wasn't it?
It was apparently an extremely long time, but also wonderful, in a certain way. With
Well,
yeah.
I hope you're around in 10 years.
Oh well, thank you. I think. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, Luke. Yeah, nice to hear you. Who have we got? Masira.
Yes. Hi, David. It's
Hi.
Masira. Hi.
Yeah,
I'm
hi.
super late at joining the party today. I got the timings wrong. Um,
No problem.
but I'm having hard time formulating the question. How do I, or how would you explain death in this light, in this understanding that you have? Like we there's this thing that we call death that happens with everybody, every living being. I always have a hard time explaining that in this spiritual understanding or whatever understanding we're talking about.
No, I mean, when you talk about death, are you talking about death of the body, the physical death?
Yeah, yeah. So you somebody leaves and you never get to see that person or talk to them, or we don't know what happens after this body goes. Like that's
Well,
where.
no, there isn't. All there is this. It's just this.
Okay.
This is all there is. It's just what is. That doesn't. There's no altering of that. You know,
Okay.
birth, death. It's all. There is just birth, death. There isn't birth and death. There is no timeline. There's no time. So there is no death. And there's no death because no one was ever born and nobody ever dies. There is no one. So, I mean, I don't know whether that.
It's a hard pill to
Oh,
swallow
yeah.
for me, but
I mean, for me, it's absolutely impossible pill to swallow. It's like, no, me doesn't want to hear that at all because me wants to continue. It wants a continuousness. It wants to be, a little soul in a box that's passed
yeah.
on and then to be reincarnated as, you know, President Trump or something like that. So the nature of that, is what people want. That's what wants to go on. This sort of idea of continuousness in the me, in the nature of in the world of me. But
Okay.
but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is that all of that is just an illusion. All of that idea that there is time, that there is this life that I am living, and that one day I'm going to die. All of that is just an illusion, and all there is just what is, and there's always been just what is. So there is no past. There is no past. That is quite incredible. There's no past. And that the future is just simply a projection.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Keith, how you doing? You're on
But
mute.
let me see. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Thanks,
Can you
Keith.
hear
Yeah,
my
hi.
voice? Hi. Nice to see you, mate.
Too, man.
I was very happy to hear that you used to be a musician. I was very happy to hear that. You're one of the speakers that I resonate with the most. I think it's just I don't know. It's beyond words, isn't it? But yeah, this just seems to be pointless, doesn't it? And meaningless and hopeless. Yeah.
Quite.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that the worst thing in Pandora's box? Hope.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Hope
Yeah.
is the
illusion of it
the
going
illusion.
somewhere, or
Yeah, it's
The kid.
loves hope,
yeah,
keeps
keeps the tension and the need and
yeah,
the constant seeking going, doesn't it?
right.
And the story, and the terrifying thing is that this is completely unknowing, isn't it? It's completely,
Yeah,
it's already the end. It's already dead and
it's
alive,
already
and
dead.
it's all
Yeah,
of it. It's all of it. I
exactly.
remember this from being a tiny child. You see, I remember being 2, and I actually shat my nappy on my brother's back.
Yeah,
And yeah, I've got
that's memorable.
I remember it clearly, and it was just this absolute just nothingness, really. Just yeah, just
Yeah,
completely. And then when that tension arises, it's just yeah, bloody hell. It just keeps coming until it stops. There's just no reason for it to end, is there? Amazing. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Oh God. Well, good luck,
thank,
guys, anyway.
thank you so much, Keith. Thanks for
Love you all.
yeah, thank you,
Oh dear. Ah, brilliant. Thank you.
thank you.
Well, that quietened everyone down, didn't it? Whew.
Yeah, it just struck me about the
Yes,
death.
Ollie. Yeah,
Yeah, like this sense that we're born into the world somehow, that me is born into the world,
yeah,
lives a linear timeline journey through
yeah.
this thing called time, and then dies out of the world and goes to like, where would this death
Somewhere
place
else.
be? Like, there would have to be some other place or
Yeah,
thing called death,
yeah,
separate from what appears to be happening.
yeah. There's
This,
nowhere else.
yeah,
There's
this
nothing else.
mysterious, as Kenna calls it, like a black blobby thing somewhere else. Yeah.
Or a heaven or a hell, or any of these kind of ideologies. All of that is all part of the story of me, and me, of course, wants to be on the heaven side rather than the hell side, you know, depending on how you feel, of course. But that's it's always a story. It's a great big story about that. Yeah.
And that death is some actual thing, that's something separate. Like it's an actual place somehow,
Yeah.
separate from, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is death. All
Yeah.
there is death.
Mm.
Or all there is life. That makes everybody think, oh yeah, I prefer that one. But it's all the same.
like this is complete unknowing. This is death. But when you feel like a person, this is an actual hand that I know, and death and other things, the infinite is somewhere way up there that's some unknown thing that it's a mystery that we can't understand. This is the mystery appearing as this, but somehow when you feel like an individual, it's a solid thing called a hand that you know.
Yeah.
And the mystery is somewhere else that you're looking for. What is this mystery I'm looking for?
Right.
And
Yeah.
the looking for it obscures the fact that this is the infinite appearing directly as a hand, and you're looking for this mysterious thing through all kinds of different ways and means.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
And it's just what you're looking for is appearing, is everything. And we're energetically looking everywhere for it. Where is it? What is it? And it's, as Tony would say, hiding in plain sight by being everything.
Mm-hmm.
And can't be seen, because what's looking for it is looking everywhere else. The looking for it obscures it.
The looking for it is what obscures it, yes. But also, you know, the looking for it is also the describing of it.
Yes.
It comes in as that as well. It comes in as the attempt to describe it perfectly. You know, it doesn't matter. This is a complete you know, kind of like it's a complete absence of care about whether there is a perfect description or not. This doesn't give a shit. This is just what is. It's completely irreverent.
And the frustration is that, like, the sense of me is continually trying to, for me it seems anyway, it's trying to continually, the frustration is it's actually trying to step outside everything and view it objectively.
Yeah, that's
understand
right.
it, make sense of it, and go, I get it
Nail
all
it
now.
down. Nail it down. I've got you now. Now I've got you.
This is the frustration. Me can't splinter a little bit of itself, be separate from everything, see it, know it, make sense of it, and go, I get it now.
That's
and
it.
then
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So it will bloody well try. It would love to. It wants to. It wants to be party to its own death. It wants to have a view of its own demise. But actually, all that happens is that having a view of its own demise just becomes completely irrelevant. Just that whole story about trying to do that and attempting to do that, trying to figure it out and trying to sort it out and all of that, the whole thing becomes irrelevant and completely disinteresting, because all there is this, and this is far more interesting because it's all there is. This is what's longed for, in fact. Just this, without any addition, subtraction, just what is.
like the sense of separation is something, a wholeness, feeling separate, running around trying to find wholeness. It can't step outside. Wholeness can't step outside itself and see that it's, oh, sure, I'm just wholeness running around looking for wholeness disguised as separation.
Yeah, Tony used to say you can't creep up on oneness.
Yeah. Like, actually, is really that what me is trying to do, is trying somehow to step outside and see what's going on all the time. That's the frustration, it seems. Anyway,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Imran, hi.
Hi, David. You okay?
Hi. Yeah. Nice to see you.
Just wanted to say thank you, because you often use the word me state and softening, and exposure to this message can certainly lead to a softening for nobody. And I think it was Lauren. She talked about a TV screen that has gone silent. I'm very much experiencing that lately, where there's a silence, an unexpected silence, and I suppose it's gone down to the subtitles. Just looking, this is just an analogy. I know it's just a me making an analogy, but certainly a substantial softening can take place, and through no effort, through no attempt, through no goal or attainment whatsoever.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It can seem to go on. Yeah.
And the me state you speak of, the more one invests in the me, attempting to attain a certain mental internal state or attain something out there for the me, that's where I'm finding the frustration can arise.
Well, me is the only thing me is the only thing that invests in me. You know, it's me loves to invest in meing. You know, that's what it does. In fact, you know, it's the perpetual investor. You know, trying to get a prize which it will never find. And as I use it, I constantly use this same bloody metaphor, but it is seeking for a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and when all there is gold.
Yeah. So to seek a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, there has to be a rainbow, there has to be a person, and there has to be a pot, and there has to be time, linearity, causality, and so many more things. Yeah, all made up.
And a constant trying to find it, you know.
It's incessant. Yeah. Relentless. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, David.
So just yes, Johan, yes.
Just a few short words. I can't see myself, but if you can.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no problem.
I found new words. Would you agree that this immediacy is that which hears these words right now? Could that be said?
Well, it doesn't hear anything.
No.
There's
Excuse me.
no hearing. There is just what is.
Right.
There's no reception of anything. It's just what is.
But these words are heard. If you can use.
Apparently, they're apparently heard. Yes. Yeah. But I mean, you know, there isn't anyone to hear this. There isn't anyone to see this. There's just what is.
It's immediacy, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So just to say that, you know, all that is longed for is already this. It's not something that you need to go out and find or try to understand. It's already everything. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for coming. It's really lovely to see everyone. And yeah, we'll do it again.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
David.
David. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, take care, guys.